All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I call to order this Board of Public Works meeting for the city of Westfield for June 8th, 2021. Do I hear a motion to approve the May 18th meeting?
Looking through the May 18th meeting.
So, you're not allowed because you weren't here to hear it. No problem, no problem. All right, all in favor, aye. I should have stopped, I apologize. I should go and formally introduce you, Steve. I can't tell you how welcome we are to see you because we haven't anybody sitting in that chair since a year ago last February. We appreciate, like I told you on the phone last week, we appreciate your time and energy you're putting in for the city of Westfield and its citizens. It's a great group of people we work with. Brittany's the one that keeps the operation going across the way, and Casey's my go-to guy. Whenever I have a problem, one of my neighbors come up, my yard was dug up or something like that, Casey always responds immediately, and I'm always appreciative of that. As I say, welcome aboard, and you're going to be a great asset for us. Monthly report.
Yeah, good evening and welcome aboard, Steve. So there's federal stimulus money that's become available with the ARPA funds. So we've been working with engineering, the mayor's office, purchasing to try and target some projects that we're going to try and use that funding to address the long-standing. We've never had the money to do it. So do you guys have any questions, or you want me to kind of let you know where we're looking at trying to use these funds?
You have the floor, go ahead.
One of them is City View Road at the Jacks Brook crossing. The culvert's failing. We've applied for state funding to the small bridge program. 5 years in a row, we've been denied every year. So we're hoping maybe that could be one of the projects that's been designed. It just really needs the construction end of it to build it out. We've got a number of sanitary sewer lift stations that are just antiquated, and some of the sewer fees, when they raised the rate, was supposed to go to pay for that, but more of the money went into sewer expansion. So these things kind of are just out there dying on the vine. So we're talking about maybe replacing or fitting, from a public safety standpoint as well. A lot of more confined space entry, and you're sending people in really hazardous locations. We need to down at the treatment. So these are the lift stations that raise the sewage circuit gravity feed down to the plant. Down at the plant, we actually need to, Department of Public Safety, the state came in and said, hey, it's unsafe working environment. You need to fix this, or we're going to tell you need to fix it. So we're thinking some of the funding could be to build a new admin building on that road. That would help Jeff and the treatment people work in a safer environment. Mark's got some ideas of more sewer expansion and additional assessment of what it's going to need to kind of upgrade the sewers on the Meadow Street section, Mechanic Street. We just had a sinkhole there last Friday. The road just traveled lane right in the middle, went down. It's infrastructure from the 1890s.
Where was this?
Just if you were to, can't get there going southbound, but if you're coming north on Elm Street by the clock tower, you bear right onto Meadow.
Yeah,
right in the middle of that travel lane.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, we've got a lot of aged infrastructure out there, and hopefully we can use some of this funding to address that. But we're still kind of in the preliminary discussions, and we think we've kind of got a good plan as to where we want to. We as a group, that being purchasing, engineering, the mayor, use some of this, and there likely will be more sewer expansion as well. So that's more of a sexier project for the councilors and whatever ward. So that's the ARPA funding. You guys have any questions on that? So we're currently doing Russell Road drainage improvements. We're doing this in-house. So I would estimate if we sub this out, it would probably be like a $60,000 to $75,000 project. So we've been out there for the past week. We're gonna be out there probably another week 2 maybe, but we've installed a new drain network, to address, are you familiar with the Wayne Pools property? He's got a big solar farm up there now, he's since passed, but it's that area, there was no drainage in place and, it's just chronic ice flow every winter and the road suffered too, I mean, the road was all, patched up, so we're in the process of doing that in the hopes that, there's, enough funding to resurface that road in the next construction season.
Wasn't there, going back a number of years ago, there was a guy that was having a drainage problem that lived up off Russellville Road, and I thought he came in and I can't remember if he ever came back to.
There's another one after this project, we've got another one, which is the North Road, this culvert that's failing. It might be him.
All right. As I say, it was a number of years ago.
So anyway, we're actively working to try and get the drainage done so that we can do the proper fix on the road and it doesn't fail in short order. Oil Road, so see this one's new to you, but that one, you might be aware of the truck issues there, but the trucks just pound the catch basins for whatever reason, whenever they built that drainage system to the road. I don't know if it was like, horse and buggy at the time, but the catch basins are just too close together. So no matter what way the truck traffic's going, which this is the primary truck route, it's just pounding them.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna move the entire trunk line that, feeds the drain network, but the ones that are kind of offset on the other side of the street, push those, out of the travel lane. So we'll get some relief, but, short of millions of dollars to redo that whole drain system, this is the solution. So I just heard from the contractor tonight, so he's gonna be getting started, going out there tomorrow, and they're gonna be taking some measures for the inverts, but the project will likely start later this month, and probably carry on into.
Where does it begin? Where are these actually situated? Is it the whole street?
Primarily, I think they're between East Mountain and Springdale. I think it's most of those, but it's the ones that are on the north side. I'd have to look back at it. I mean, this has been kind of months in the making.
No, that's all right. I was just wondering if it was a whole length of Holyoke Road or if it was just such.
I think it's mostly on the eastern portion, but I have to double check the quote from vendor and dust off plans because it's been, we started talking about this back in February, I want to say. So,
former Superintendent Dave Phillips, for the past few years now, he's felt that instead of contracting out, the department could go and do in-house reconstruction stuff. He saved the city a ton of money by doing it. I'm sorry, Casey, go ahead.
That's okay. And it is, there is a cost savings, but we've got a multitude of problems as well. So it's like, we can only do so much with the resources that we have.
You do your own engineering on those?
Sometimes. In this instance, we work with engineering department. We don't actually do the engineering in-house, but like what we do, like our engineering department, Jeremy Siegel was the one that assisted with this. So, and this one, not a lot of engineering. You're basically taking a structure and moving it this way, just make sure elevation. Yeah. So the next bullet, we've got a fuel stations. We operate 2 10,000-gallon fuel tanks, one for diesel, one for gasoline. The entire city, police, fire, school, mass housing, they rely on DPW, obviously. So the system is older. When it went in, they went with a suction design pumps. They vapor lock and they heat the gasoline does. And then on the winter months, the diesel will gel up. It just trickles out. So it's been a headache for a long time. So that work is scheduled to start on Monday. So we're running a new electric service and we're with dispersible pumps, which are more reliable to keep the product from trickling out. I mean, every emergency responder in the city and been frustrated with the system for a long time. So that's going to be, we'll be down for 3 to 5 days. Cross our fingers on 3. Airports agreed to be primary backup fuel facility while we're down with an understanding of gas and electric at the airport, which is something could go wrong there. We go to the GA. So that's in the works. I think it's overdue, so. So West Silver Street, we've been working on stormwater, still waiting for design plans from engineering. We've got some illicit connections, for your awareness, Steve, that's where we've got 2 drain pipes on the road. We've got a stormwater drain pipe and we've got sanitary sewer drain pipe. So sanitary sewer, you flush your toilet, take a shower, that's where you want that going down the Jeff Street plant where it's processed and put out as clean water. Stormwater just goes right into the basin, right out the river. So there's a number of houses that have got the pipes connected to the wrong systems. We're looking to separate them. We've got engineered plans, we're just waiting on some final markups and then probably trying to fold that next fiscal year. I was hoping to get it done this spring.
Does the state provide any funding on that kind of thing? Because I know in Connecticut, they do a combined sewer flow and
Yeah, so we have 2 separate systems.
Right.
So we don't have the CSO.
I just came off a major project in Cook County, that's what they did. The state DEP funded through the city.
No, the state usually just tells us to do stuff. We don't really get the means to get from A to B from them. So we are still working to get our GPS fleet tracking. It's in the works. I need to follow up. I don't have a firm commitment on that, but that's just so we can better track our assets and accountability and the current system that we've got is not very useful. You can use it for stuff, but it's really user improvement. So looking forward to that. On Lower Notre Dame, a woman was tragically hit in a car accident. So the basis for the signs have been installed, and I believe they gave me a commitment of next week for the signs to go up. So we'll have those crosswalks similar to what Metco has on North Elm Street. You push the button and it kind of flashes.
Yeah.
So we'll have that similar styled crosswalk at Lower Notre Dame. So we've got 2 vacant driver positions. We're looking to get those filled. That'll be really helpful. I'm working with personnel on that. And out of the candidates, we had 3 people, 2 of which I interviewed back in November and passed on, but they're still on the list. They're at the top of the list to be hired. So we'll see what happens there. But I can definitely use the people because we're short-staffed up at our refuse and recycling collections group because there's a number of individuals out on medical disability and people are consuming their vacation time. So we've got to kind of beg and borrow between divisions just to make sure those routes get done. And then the last bullet, so our natural resource foreman, Steve Wingate, for 40 years of service with the city, he's retiring. So this is his last week, and he's going to burn his benefit time, so we will miss him. I just wanted to give the board a heads up, he's been a solid employee for 40 years. And
Is he the guy that has the pickup truck that's by himself? No?
No, he's, you'll see him in pickup sometimes by himself. Sometimes they're in a black Ford Escape. But so Steve was, he came out of the highway division, worked as a tree laborer, forestry guy, kind of advanced his way up to foreman, and we're gonna miss his knowledge, experience.
I should say, well, you should go and tell him from the Board of Public Works, we wish him a very long, happy, and healthy retirement.
Yeah.
And thank you for his service to the city.
So 3 other individuals in that natural resource division are also going to be kind of peeling away in the next 6 months.
How many are in that division?
It's about 10 to 12.
10 to 12, yeah.
But that's pretty significant. We're going to lose 4 of them,
Yeah, I'd say a 30-year staff. Any questions? Tom, you got anything? No? I don't have anything either. I was gonna go and we were discussing about taking August off, what we usually do during the summer. But I was thinking that maybe we should go and put it on the agenda for the July meeting to make it all proper and everything like that, instead of us just talking, and it wasn't on the agenda to make it proper and stuff. You have no problem taking August off, right, Tom?
So I'll take one for the team.
For the city, Steve, the same way, as I say, that we've been doing it for years. As a matter of fact, we have a letter, this is the computer, dear mayor. We just go and change the date, the year on it, and we send it out to the different department heads and stuff. What's your pleasure, gentlemen? Should we wait 5 minutes or should we leave?
I got a little bit more, I didn't include it on my monthly report.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize
Here,
that.
Joel, time, give it by Mark a little bit.
All right,
So the crack sealing is happening, we've been working on North Road, between Southampton and East Mountain, and they're rounding onto East Mountain. And I gave them another handful of spots, but, that money goes quick, they operate at about 10,000 a day. So, you know, yeah, it goes fast, but, you know, to save the road, I mean, a road project, especially North Road, I mean, 4 lanes wide essentially. It's, you know, the ounce prevention, if you will.
yeah,
So we are out mowing, we've got one on the north side, we've got one on the south side, and the sweeping's gonna be picking back up. I believe it started yesterday, but we've got a little bit more, we're almost done, we're supposed to, as part of our MS4 permits, the stormwater permit, we need to sweep 100% of the streets every spring, so we're just about there, but we should have it done by the end of June, so.
and that sweeper is working well, what, you have
We've been subbing it out
the
because.
whole,
Yeah, we use ours in the event of emergency or if there's some
Oh.
special thing,
all right,
but because of the cost of disposals, the stuff we recover gets treated as hazardous material. So we're currently shipping it out, trucking it out to Fitchburg, because the Mass DEP only gives us so many things we can do with it. So you can use it as a landfill cover, or you can file for like a beneficial use determination and you can use it for like roadside fill, but you can't be anywhere near a waterway or wetland, which Westfield is got waterways and wetlands everywhere, so yeah, like that second option, the environmentally, you know, let's reuse it, it's not really there for us, so, you know, we ship it, you know, we truck it out, and we sell the trucking, we just don't have it, you know, to, you know, make the trip worth it.
yeah.
But it's an expensive ordeal, we spend a lot of money, getting rid of just street sweeping, same thing with catch basin cleaning material.
There's some things that people don't even realize, they just figure they pick it up and they dump it someplace.
And I'm not sure, like, we used to be able to go to Chicken Feed, which is, you know, kind of our backyard, but, you know, Fitchburg, I'm not sure what the lifespan is on that landfill, and when that closes, we're gonna have to start shipping it out west.
Yeah, 'cause there's just like the trash.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, questions?
And just as another item, so just as we have an MS4 permit for stormwater, which, you know, it's like the 6 minimum control measures, things that we need to live by. I say 6, each one has more subcategories, but there's a lot of requirements that permit has. So Jeff was, got talked about the DEP and they want to issue a new permit. So we need to have a permit to discharge from the treatment plant up to the river. So they're in the process of revising that permit and they said, hey, you might want to take a look at what Great Barrington's got. We just went through it with them. And so they're going to ramp up the requirements of our wastewater processes to mirror us. So you've got some background in it. So that's coming down the line for us. So
When I first got on the board, Steve, they were talking about the expansion down at the sewage plant. And it was originally budgeted for 10 million. Well, it ended up being 20. And the state didn't want them to put it there. They wanted to have a whole brand new one built for 60 million on Little River. Which are on Little River, and it's across from Ridgecrest where that farmland is. The state wanted them, the city, to buy that with the sewage treatment there, but they says there isn't $60 million that they can just peel out of their wallet to go and build a whole new plant.
yeah.
They talked about having to upgrade the nitrogen and phosphorus reading.
Yes, that was mentioned. A lot of more mapping and GIS improvements. Yeah, it'll be something.
I'm trying to remember, I did my I was a wastewater operator
Okay.
many years ago.
Yeah.
And I did my practicum at the Westfield plant,
Okay.
Al Pierce,
Yeah.
many years ago.
And we were looking for the superintendent.
I let my license go when I went to Florida. I went the other way.
And Dave Billis was hired. I went and I says, you know, that's McHale's Navy down at that sewage treatment plant. I said, it's gonna take you for a while to go and straighten out that Burma Road that's down there. He did a great job doing it. And I guess the guy that's running it down there.
Yeah, John
Dallas,
O'Malley.
yeah, it's excellent too.
Yeah, he's got pretty good respect in the industry as well.
So you,
You know, those guys don't know what McHale's Navy is.
I know McHale's.
I do.
yeah, I know. Brittany,
No way.
You too.
Google it,
Yeah.
what was it, so you lived in Florida and came back or?
Correct. I grew up in Westfield.
Yeah,
Graduated high school here, went to the Air Force. Came back for a few years. And then decided I had enough. And we moved to Florida for 17. And then it was really, we came back.
but is there any reason that you decided to come back?
Yeah, I was tired of getting laid off from,
Oh.
and the pay
Oh,
was terrible.
yeah, but if my sister moved down there about 10 years ago, she worked for the federal government. So the most of the people who are retired lived in Florida or all have pensions from the federal, state, or city.
It's great if you're retired, if you're a working person,
Yeah.
because cost of living is just as high.
And her son loves it down there, all right? He's a teacher. But, you know, I told him, I says, you know, the thing is, once you get below Virginia, the temperature goes up and the pay goes down. And he can make half as much as he is, you know, down there.
Cost of living is the same.
Yeah, but she loves it down there, she says. But as I say, you got that federal pension coming in monthly.
My parents are elderly, so we're up here
Yeah,
taking care of that as well.
my mother, I was the one that took care of her. My sister beat it south. Yeah, so we went and as I say, Dave did a lot of great things, didn't he? Yeah. To save the city money and stuff like that, looking at ways to do in-house construction, stuff like that. He had his critics though. I remember what one counselor at one meeting was complaining about. Mark. Complaining about Union Street, the cracks.
Oh, yeah.
So when you do these like new catch basins and stuff, you just provide as-bills to the city that you've done. So everything is,
No, we haven't done that.
no, I'm asking,
No, we haven't.
do you do your own, do you have your own set type of catch basins you use, or do you use?
We will, but if, yeah, in new, we'll do precast, we'll buy them, yeah, it's a great cover, all that, yeah.
I noticed you guys like to use the square.
Yeah, it's
I'm
kind of what we have, yeah, it's, you know, we don't have that Connecticut style.
some in,
Mark, good evening.
And a lot of them are block built.
Good evening,
So,
Mr.
yeah,
Chair. How are you?
Good, we were waiting for
All
you.
right, thank you very much. Yes, I just exited the Conservation Commission meeting, so thank you, Ron. And I saw it wasn't quite 7:30, so I thought I would give you a try. So thank you for waiting.
Yeah, Mark, I want to introduce you to our new commissioner here.
I know Mark.
Yes,
Steve
Steve,
White.
yeah, congratulations.
Thank
I don't think I've seen you.
He'll be an ass.
I don't think I've seen you since 1976, but thank you. It's good to see you now, anyway.
A lot of water's passed under the Green Bridge since then. What do you got for us tonight, Mark?
Just updates, Mr. Chairman. If there's anything you would have a particular question about, please feel free to interrupt me. But in general, what we're looking at is we have the next phase of Western Avenue roadway reconstruction. The project has been bid, advertised, and awarded. We're waiting for the notice to proceed to be issued to the contractor, which I expect to be done this month, and I would expect sometime in July or so we would have a pre-construction meeting and get a schedule of their work, but I would anticipate some work to occur this construction season and move along. So the Western Avenue East second phase is a continuation of what we did with the Western Avenue Central first phase. Very similar elements. It'll take those from where we left off by Lloyd's Hill and bring us all the way down to Holcomb Street, which is just beyond the hospital. Multi-use trails involved, some park improvements, some traffic lights. This is all online at the City of Westfield's website, Engineering Department, Active Projects, Western Avenue, Phase 2. And Steve, if you have any questions, please feel free. You'll find my email and my contact information there. Please feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to walk through any details that you might want to find out about. Other than that, let's see, beyond that, we have completed the Court Street multi-use trail, which will be an extension of that Western Avenue East project with a multi-use trail along the southern side of Court Street from then Holcomb Street to Holland Avenue. And we'll be doing certain crosswalk enhancements with the rapid flashing beacon apparatus that we've used on Western Avenue as well, and other areas. It's been rather popular and found to be pretty safe enhancement. So that'll be all part of the Court Street, but the sidewalks are, the multi-use trail itself is done, and some trees are being planted under a grant program from the Commonwealth, which actually provides the trees, the planting, the watering. All we have to do is sort of coordinate certain things, and Councilor Figge and Councilor Kane Matthews are both very active with that and instrumental to that effort. Beyond that, we have the Columbia Greenway, which is under construction, which will take us from the Westfield River levee, the south side of the Westfield River, to Stop and Shop. Number of bridges, 5 bridges involved. The Elm Street crossing of that trail, though, that bridge being an old and originally a railroad bridge, is having problems, and it looks like that bridge will take to the end of the season to resolve all things. But that's the current expectation and the current path for the schedule for the contractor. So we're moving forward. It's going to take more time than we anticipated, but things are looking good, and again, moving forward. We have completed the work on Springfield Road with the Mass Works effort. We are continuing to work on interchange 341, the Mass Pike interchange, doing certain improvements associated with the Turnpike Industrial Park MEPA findings, but we're also trying to push with Mass DOT a longer term resolution to the the congestion issues, both on their side and on our side, and working with that. So I don't have anything beyond that sort of vagueness to report to you, other than it is still active and still moving forward, and we're still pushing for getting a decisive path forward. Going north from that, Southampton Road, Mass DOT is still pursuing their sort of their enhancement or revitalization of that corridor, Southampton Road, for the most part, with a new pavement restoration to include a multi-use trail in the multi-turning lane in the center, and a multi-use trail all along the western side of Southampton Road, just north of North Road. So that's quite an undertaking, and it is going to be coordinated with traffic signal at Service Star and the proposed Air National Guard entrance, relocated entrance. that would be just south of Service Star intersection there. So there's a bit going on with that. And then we have a Mass DOT initiative to do pedestrian bicycle accommodation on Route 20 from Meadow Street to Delmont, which is moving forward as well. It's not quite as it's less impactful as was initially identified. So they'll be kind of enhancing the corridor, and when I'm not sure we have plans yet online. Most of these projects are online at the City of Westfield's website, active projects. I'm not sure that one in that it's a state project, and I'm not sure we have the current plans, which have changed from initial online, but I'll have to check on that. But if you have any questions on that, I'd be happy to discuss it further with you. And then we have Coles Bridge, which moves along, though they've run into some difficulties because of some 21E issues with the soils involved. So I believe it's given a little bit of a halt to progress, but I believe they'll be moving forward on that and building the bridge as we go. I'm sorry, that's a lot. And also the city is looking to follow up on the Coles Bridge effort, which is Southwick Road over Little River, with an extension of the effort to extend sidewalks, to introduce a center turning lane again south of City View along Southwick Road, to reorient Crane Ave at Mill Street, as has been long discussed. So that's all out there as well, if you have any comments or questions on that.
Nothing for me, Mark. Steve, do you have any questions? Nothing.
Not yet.
Not yet. Bob, Pat, do you have anything for us tonight? No. Anything else to be brought before us tonight? Seeing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mark. It was
Thank you
great.
for your patience, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, the board.
Next month, we're back at City Hall.
Okay, so you are having a meeting though next month?
Yeah, it's August that we're going to take off.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very
August. Yeah, but I was going to put it on the agenda for discussion for taking August to make it all legal and proper, instead of bringing it up, not having on the agenda. So we're going to discuss it next. I told Steve we've been taking August off for